Episode 9 of Peter's Bachelor season marked one of the biggest weeks of the entire show, a night in the fantasy suites. Madison, Victoria, and Hannah Ann each joined Peter for a romantic stay that quickly turned dramatic, leaving Peter with his most difficult decision yet. CitrusTV Bachelor reporter Will Scott joins us to break down the results of Monday night's episode. Will, thank you for joining us.
I'm excited. This was a riveting episode, so I'm excited to break it down with y'all.
All right, so let's get started. After this show, let's start by talking about the first two fantasy suite dates. What stood out to you from Hannah Ann and Victoria? I know my thoughts, but let's hear yours.
Well, Hannah Ann really connected and bonded with Peter like we haven't seen all year. They have a physical connection, but that emotional connection we had yet to see. And we saw that. They had a little jet ski, water sports date that went really well. So I would say Hannah Ann right now has kind of the lead, number one in the power rankings, I would say. But for Victoria F., no drama between those two this time. Very surprising. It's pretty shocking that she's made it this far with all her drama this season. But their date went really well. But my thing with Victoria is probably just too little too late for her. She doesn't have as much momentum as the other two girls.
So, dramatic ending of the show. Madison's date takes a turn
oh my goodness.
like crazy.
Yes.
It's a time for her to go her own way. So
it's funny you say that because it really did feel like that scene in High School Musical. What about us? What about everything we've been through? But what about trust? I never wanted to hurt you. But what about me? What am I supposed to do? Peter says. You know what Peter does? He does not respect Madison's wishes. I was quite shocked that Peter actually, because listen, if Peter was really crazy about Madison and he felt like she was the one, he would have respected her wishes. The bottom line is, she went to him and she said, if you do this, I'm going to have to take my name out of consideration. And what does he do? He still does it. So, Peter, I understand fantasy suites are an important date for him as we saw in Hannah Brown's season. But for me, it's just disrespectful to Madison. And Peter kind of seems surprised by Madison's reaction.
He did.
Madison got up and left. And so we'll see. She might be done.
I will say the memes from this episode, fantastic. Twitter was blowing up. But do you think Madison's going to come back?
The bottom line is that Peter and Madison, I think, are still in love with each other at this point.
100%.
Madison, though, is going to want to stay true to who she is, and I think that's awesome. But at the start of the fantasy or suite rose ceremony, she wasn't there. So a lot of drama going into this next show. We'll see what happens. Personally, I think Madison is going to be back, but would she accept a proposal from Peter next week? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Hey, stay tuned. What a tease there. Next week, more Bachelor.
Finale is in 2 weeks. Looking forward to it.
That'll be quite huge.